Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another video. I hope you guys are doing well today. And we are in a Algeth'ar Academy 16 with a regular group of people. So not a pug this time, but well, anyway, a pug. We've had some gear upgrades and we've done a couple of keys tonight. So we've just hit 1900 rating. I'm actually trying out ever so slightly different talent build, picking up exuberance this time. So yeah. So I'm expecting that the damage is going to be pretty big here from this group. So I'm going to try and get as many cooldowns off as possible. So I'm trying something a little bit different in this video. And normally when I record keys with these guys, I will jump off comms and obviously it makes it awkward for them. It makes it awkward for me. This way I get to stay on comms and I just kind of commentate and I will answer them as I need to. So it may mean that every now and again I need to respond to something they're saying, but aside from that, I can't imagine there'll be all too much different. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think of this format. Does it change things? Does it make it better or worse for you guys? It makes it much better for me. So, yeah, I mean, monk damage, just wow. So the rogue in this group turned around to me in a dungeon we did before and said, "I'm not used to having an evoker actually do any damage," which hurt my soul a little bit, but does make me want to beat him at every opportunity. So this week's been a really nice week for pushing. Obviously, it's pretty much a complete healer week. Are they going to get close enough? Of course they're not. Gonna break me stacks just a little bit earlier than normal here. But obviously with the buffs, Evoker is feeling in a really good place. You can see when we're talking of kind of the overpowered meta characters or classes right now, I think both Outlaw Rogue and Monk would be in that conversation. 397, 396, and 400 eye level, we're all around the same sort of gear level. And don't get me wrong, obviously I'm still not winning that meter, but I'm not losing it by a huge amount either. So I think we're in a really good space. Little bloodlust there, which we do like to see. I'm going to save my cooldowns for the boss. So we are going to bloodlust this boss on pole, and I'm well aware that actually, while normally I would have popped my cooldowns here, white, it's a nasty pack. Getting it down quicker is obviously beneficial for the group, and I'll just let other people carry. We're starting to get into the levels of bosses just having enough health where they take a long time anyway. And bosses are what's going to go wrong in this dungeon, especially this boss. So I'd rather actually not worry so much about my rotation, but about my overall, sorry, but focus on the boss. So yeah, that's my point. No, 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 no. So we're going to pop fire breath, one tick of fire breath, and start the burst. So in an ideal world, I would hover beforehand, but that's not going to be possible now, unfortunately, because I don't want to screw up the stack. So I'm going to get loads of stacks here, and we are going to blow up as many of these ads as possible. And once again with Eternity Surge, big Eternity Surge on everything. We baited out the tree to a faraway place, which is pretty nice actually. So we're going to get in this and reduce our stacks. And I mean, we're all pulling over 100k DPS. The boss is going to be dead very soon. Obviously, I understand that a lot of that is AoE damage, but still, it's pretty insane, right? So a pressing raw into the stun is going to get everything stunned for a really long time there. And I mean, it's already almost all dead. Just think, look how good that is. We're going to hit him with a knock up. We don't have a poison dispel because I actually took it out of this build. But I mean, look at it. That was perfectly done. I just want to fight, right? And I know that sounds really egotistical, but uh, when we're talking about like just that was a satisfying boss fight. We all pulled 100+ K DPS. We all did really well on the ads, and actually, I brought so much utility there in terms of all the ads that I felt like I did really well. And you have to compliment yourself when things are going well for you. Like being critical all the time isn't positive, isn't a good thing. Sometimes you just got to admit that actually I played well on that boss fight, and in that situation, I think I did. Now, I've got my cooldowns coming up. This is already half health, so I'm not going to use it on this pack. I'm actually going to use it on the first pack of the next mobs. My reason for that is, um, ooh, ooh, the reason for that is because we don't have Bloodlust up, which means I'm not going to be able to Bloodlust on pull for the boss. I'm actually more likely to have it up for the burst phase with the fire damage, the fire debuff up. So it's going to be much better time. So gonna hit. We've got 20 stacks of fire, which means we are going to hit this extremely hard. Some would say it's padding. Others would say it's good cooldown rotation. I'm going to use my Living Flame on the shades as well, which gives me all of these Essence Bursts to use. I'm actually going to have to use Essence Burst on these shades just because the other ones weren't going to come up in time. And look at that. I mean, we've managed to keep our cooldown through that whole thing. So much damage. And yeah, I think we're playing really well in this dungeon so far. Really earning our stripes. My goal is to not finish last on DPS. I don't think it's going to happen, but a man could dream, right? So I really don't like this boss. I do quite often play fairly bad on it. So now's my chance to prove I'm not a noob. Gonna hit with the oppressing roar into the deep breath if he doesn't move out of all of it, which he kind of did, but we'll forgive him. Obviously, you do want to be saving your oppressing roar, your deep breath for when they're low health in an ideal world. But actually, just being able to reduce the amount of damage they're doing on this pack, why not, right? Just treat it as a AoE stun rather than damage at the moment. I'm not running the lay waste talent, which would change how I'm using it. So even though there's two targets left, I am going to use my empowerments here. And actually, my cooldowns are still going to be up for the start of this boss. Now, that changes things. Do I use them at the start of this boss? Ideally, no, because we have no bloodlust. But am I going to get more than two uses on this boss? I think I'm still probably not going to get more than two uses, and therefore it's not worth. So I'm going to save my cooldowns here at the start. I've got everything. You're not allowed. So the Pally then was talking about blessings and who wants his cooldown buff and things like that. So we've got one stack here of the Deafening Screech. I use my cooldown there just to help him out. Oh god, it's coming at me. Just look at that damage, man. It's crazy. Hopefully we'll catch up a little bit when we get to this next phase. I'm going to throw balls in kind of slowly, but not all three. Yeah, I'm just doing it when I have my movement up. So we've decided that we're not going to immediately pop it. We're going to wait for 4 stacks of the Screech, so use a cooldown here as well. Just use my Verdant Embrace because he was getting a little bit low there. So I'm not going to use any more empowerments now. We want them up, ready for this next one. Throwing it in. So we've mistimed a little bit here. So we probably aren't going to be able to keep our cooldowns up here, but because of how low the boss is, I don't even think it's going to matter. Hit him with another one of these. I tried to get the next one off, but doesn't matter. And I mean, again, did the mechanics, no one died, really, really clean and smooth kill, and overall did pretty well on damage. So happy days on that boss again. I'm going to wait here and throw the pally across. I've got a pressing raw stun for this pack when they're all grouped. So pump in the AoE here, no cooldowns, but to be honest, don't really need them at the moment. So we have got to be careful of the shades here. It's a little bit of a tight corner. What I'm going to do is actually knock them all up and then hit them with a root. Going to use my cooldowns here because we've had a death, which means it's now about trying to recover. So not a problem at all. He's going to be able to run back. I still get a good usage out of my cooldowns anyway, so it's not necessarily a bad thing for me. But just being able to recover from on that situation is what's important. We don't want to wipe or have another cast go off. And boom. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to use my potion again. So I'm actually going to... Oh, okay, I thought we were going to kill that off, but we weren't. So I didn't really want to use my fire breath there then. I was going to use it to kill the shade so I could use my potion, but never mind. Got 4 foragers here, so I'm going to get close enough to that they're not jumping out miles for me. Big fire breath, a pressing roar into the deep breath, instant living flame, and look at that for damage. Using the shade, so this week, because we have shades, we can use the shades to stack up our pyre ready for the next group of mobs, which is really, really nice, and you should absolutely be taking advantage of this. I mean, just look at our damage at the moment. Like, yeah, we're not pulling extreme amounts, we're not in a cooldown window, and we're still able to compete with some of the strongest classes in the game played by good players. Now, obviously, the monk died, so a little bit of an excuse for him there, but all in all, it's yeah. I think Evoker's in a very good spot right now. I'm going to use a little bit of mobility there just because I don't want to be getting hit by the shades. Now, I know on these next packs they can kind of suck, so I'm going to cool down the first one if you want to go for the right hand side, and I'll get the first book as well. So again, a little bit of communication. It does make it nice being on comms with people. Makes it a little bit easier to communicate goals and stuff. It's something you do see at high level keys anyway. You'll quite often see people just jump into Discord with each other at sort of, especially when you're playing with like the same community of people. I've only been there once or twice, but you start getting invited to these kind of higher end discords, and it can be quite a nice experience, to be honest. Got first kick on book again. So I'm talking about this. This book does a like channeled cast that in like effectively sleeps someone for the duration. It's quite frustrating, quite annoying, and when other mobs are throwing stuff at you as well, can cause quite a lot of issues. So I want to jump on that and get that interrupt as quick as possible. I'm going to pressing roar and stun the next ones as well. So really, really nice, good clear comms. Pressing roar into the stun, and we're going to use a big deep breath into a big eternity surge. Get the kick on the book. Hopefully, someone's got the other one. And look at that. I mean, just lots of damage, good CC. We really do bring a lot to groups, a lot more than people seem to think. Hit him with a knock up just because I can. Do we want Bloodlust here, by the way? Okay. So we've got cooldown, cooldown, both cooldowns, Bloodlust. We've got everything up. So we should be able to pump this boss from the start here. Let's see what we can do. Can we keep up with the other guys? Hopefully so. I had a cooldown up, so I thought I'd take both, right? I can do two more next time as well if needed. I'll get the two far ones. So because I have cooldowns up, it just helps if I can take these. Doesn't really do much in terms of my rotation. Oh, my bad. The knockback into that was bad. So help finish everyone, top everyone off. Bit of a misplay from us there. It happens. Let's continue trying to get the boss dead. No, let's make sure that we don't make any more mechanical mistakes. Oof, that really hurts. Right, make sure we move this time. Realistically, I don't think I'd have top DPS anyway, but the fact that I died is a little bit sad for me. I feel like I could have played that better. Looking at the timer right now, we've still got a little bit of percentage left. I don't think there's a. I don't think we're going to be able to two chest this. Of which case, I'm going to play to one chest it. So my goal is to time it. That's my measure of success now. Which means that I'm not looking to try and ninja pull anything or rush. I just want to get good cooldown usages, and that should be the goal for the group at this point as well. If we happen to magically two chest this, great, but if we don't, we don't. So I desynced my cooldowns for some reason. Not a good thing to do, but it is what it is. I'm aware that they're desynced now, so I'm just not going to use tip the scales. It means I've lost the tip the scales usage across the course of the dungeon, but it is what it is. It's not the worst thing in the world. A little bit of a combo going on there. So I'm going to use my Fire Breath mainly because there's a little bit of a run to the next pack anyway. A little bit unlucky I got a Bloodlust there, but never mind. Again, we want to be using these to try and stack up as much as possible. Use all of my mobility here because it's going to be back off cooldown. Sorry, I was using you for my mobility. So not sure how big he's going to go here. Just the two, that's fine. Again, like I said, our measure of success now is timing the key as opposed to trying to two-chest it. So it makes sense that we would take it nice and easy. It means on this next 3-pack, I'm probably going to use my cooldowns. Potentially, we actually still have another Bloodlust usage as well. Something I need to be aware of is that I could potentially get another usage of Bloodlust and cooldowns on boss. Got a nice big stun there with a pressing roar and deep breath. Once again, try and pump some of them numbers out. I can interrupt next knights. So these whirlwinds do quite a lot of damage. I can do next. So if you think about just how much disruption this class has, there's so much we can do to avoid, like, to stop. Think about stopping them mobs specifically. We've got 2 different forms there. We've got deep breath. We've got a root if we want to kite away. We have so many different ways of like obstructing mobs and being just difficult to these, and that's really really cool. Get the interrupt off. I am playing. I believe I'm playing. I'm not. I was playing with the interrupt gives me an essence back earlier, but I don't have it now, unfortunately. So we're going to get a big old fire breath off here and a 2 eternity surge. Mainly because I'm the only one that can actually DPS this from range, so I want to be able to try and get it dead. Now, in terms of percentage, we are going to need. Yeah, we will. I'll come clear after this cast. Do you want to drag him inside? So a little bit of communication there just to make sure everyone knows what's going on and where we're planning on fighting these. I am actually going to use my tip the scales here. Now I still think that we're going to be on the boss before Bloodlust is up, which means Bloodlust is just going to be used pretty much as and when. Going to stun them with a pressing roll. So actually, I think had we have really rushed and played well, and there was no mistakes, I think 2 chest was still on the table. Yeah, had we have been able to push and played really well, no mistakes, maybe pulled 2 or 3 packs into each other with cooldowns. Two chests was there, but I'd actually prefer going for the 1 chest. Just get it timed nice and safe. So 1 fire breath, turning surge, and the living flame in my shattering star window. Again, not expecting us to be doing the tippy toppest of DPS right now. Oh, I used hover just ever so slightly too soon there, and it doesn't actually knock you back, which is quite annoying. So we've got cooldowns coming up soon. I'm probably going to start saving my empowers for them this time. So I'm going to try and keep my cooldowns now for the rest of the boss fight. Certainly most of it. I'm expecting breath to be on me soon because that's just my luck. It isn't. Wow. We're starting to run out of time on our cooldowns, so get the next fire breath up, hit it with the eternity surge. I want double essence burst for the next shattering star window, which is now. Big disintegrates, try and get as much damage off as possible. I mean, we are absolutely pumping in terms of damage at the moment. Our cooldown windows was perfect right then. Unfortunately, it hasn't died quite as quick as I was hoping. I thought it would actually die in them cooldown window. But the monk had a couple of unlucky deaths, which, I mean, has helped me beat him, I'll be honest. I don't think without them deaths I would have beat him. The rogue just played fantastic throughout the entire thing. I mean, no chance I was touching him on damage, but overall, we do come second. We got 17 quarter stars, 37 more rating, and yeah, perfect run, guys. So thank you for watching, and more videos to come.